audio. In 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 audio.
Yes, people. What's going on? Welcome back to Saeed TV, and we are live for the MUFC Unfiltered podcast. We are here, 3 point collectors in the building, man. It's good to finally have a show where, after an away performance, and we go and get the W. Much needed 3 points. Big up to everybody who's locked in. Make sure you do hit the like button as you tune in right now. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Subscribe to Talking Kick and Sarcasm City. Big up to the man, them Flawless. What you saying, bro? You good?
Yeah, man. Oh, bless, fam. You know what I'm saying? Always good to be here, as always. You know what I'm saying? Always, and especially after a win. And like you said, a good United away win. But I'm sure we'll get into all of that. Big up to Double A. And bless up for having me, as always, man.
Come on, man. Already know, man. Double A. What you saying, man? You good?
Yeah, man, I'm really good. I mean, how could you not be after that, especially the day before them results? Echo Flawless every single time. Big up Saeed for always asking me to come back on and give my thoughts on the club we all love. Big up Flawless, my guy, as always.
Love.
And before people start going in, no, I'm not dressed like a zebra. It's a white jumper. It's a South Korea jumper. I'll probably get hate for that. But no, I'm not a zebra crossing. No one's walking all over me. I'm excited to talk about Man United today. So let's get into that.
Yeah, man. Come on, 100%. But yeah, man, let's discuss, man. Back to third. Should have been more. Flawless, that's the old saying. It should have been more. United making it hard for themselves. But overall, a very comfortable afternoon, man. Nottingham Forest, let's be honest, man. I think at the start they had a couple of opportunities and whatnot, but we controlled the game. And yeah, man, a very, very good victory for us. Back to third, man. And you know what I mean? Bruno played well. Lindelof was outstanding for me. Anthony, my man of the match. You know what I mean? Big up to HK Music. Said Bruno was balling well today. Anthony was balling as well. We will talk about everyone, but just overall performance, what do you think of the game and how did it go for you?
Oh, yeah, performance exceptional. I think you said, I think it was 2-3 weeks ago on the show that you couldn't remember Manchester United having like a convincing away performance in the
Yes.
Premier League. And I think we had to go all the way back to Everton where we said we actually like played well. And that was Ronaldo was still it. That's how long ago that Everton game was. So today, and that was my worry coming off the back of the Sevilla game away from home. I was like, yeah, wait, what?
Yeah, this is wild, man. Cobra's wild.
Comment, yo. That's a wild comment. Oh my God.
He's part of the Unfiltered podcast, man. He's in now. He's in there.
God. That is a wild comment. Anyways, woo, that's threw me off. But yeah, zero complaints with the performance today, apart from the fact we should have scored more. That's it. I think we should have created a little bit more for all the possession we had, but we dominated possession, dominated the ball. Forest didn't have a shot on target, only looked dangerous from set pieces, and everyone played well. Like you mentioned it already there. Anthony, I thought, was very good. That's the best game I've seen from him in a while. Not that he's been poor before that, but that performance stood out. Anthony was good. Bruno, who I criticized, he was good as well. Sancho was okay. But Eriksen and Casemiro show how important they are to our side. When people talk about, oh, we only miss Casemiro, no, we miss Eriksen just as much, because as good as Casemiro is, and he's the only profile of midfielder we have that can do that job, same to Eriksen. And even though we have all the injuries, if those two stay fit, we have a fighting chance simply because they provide a great platform for us defensively and both offensively as well. So it's good to see Casemiro back match sharp. Same with Eriksen as well. Lindelof, another player I'm critical of. I thought he was good today. Dalot was a constant outlet. It took his goal really well. And Wan-Bissaka continues to be consistently good. I can't remember the last time Wan-Bissaka had a bad performance. De Gea with his distribution. Go more direct. All this playing out from the back nonsense. Go more direct. That's what it is. There's a couple of times he could have come for a couple of the crosses. I thought like he could have done better set piece wise, but zero complaints. And like I said, very, very good performance. I'm just hoping we can match that away at Sevilla and then against Brighton and so forth, because we're too up and down with the performances.
That's it.
You look at the performance against Forest today, and then you look at the performance against Sevilla, and look at the massive difference. And that's not good. And we'll get into it because someone mentioned me about Bruno as well. We'll get into that. But overall,
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
about
Absolutely.
today, no complaints.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Sandeep says you'd fences on trouble. Rob holding in the room. Listen, man, hold tight, Arsenal, innit? You know what I mean? Holding it down. Listen, man, we got anonymous user here saying fair play to Gaya for his distribution. There we go, man. That's what we like to see. Open honesty. But
Absolutely.
listen, it is going to be up and down. And you know what? It's almost as if you got to enjoy this for now. Enjoy it, man. Because we always stress about the defeats and we always moan about defeats. But let's just enjoy today, innit? And you know what I mean? Like I said, Florence says it's been up and down this season. But for now, this was a very, very nice performance, man. I enjoyed it. Some of the football, second goal as well was unbelievable. But how do you sum up today? And then we'll get into analysing the performances of certain individuals.
Yes, like you say, you know, we agonize over defeats, so we should absolutely praise the victories. That's the life of a football fan. And, you know, we're very early into, I've said before, very early into our reign under this new manager, and he rarely gets things wrong. Thursday was a bad one to take. But, you know, he matches it straight after with another great performance. And, you know, the amount of players that we just started getting a full squad back together, and then it gets decimated by injuries. Another one today, so really unfortunate for him because he was really hitting form to the point where people are talking about him staying. He looked really good in that first half on Thursday. Really hoping that it's not something serious for him and he's back in the team straight away. But when you have someone of the immense class that Christian Eriksen is, regardless, he's been out for 3 months. And, you know, he's had a couple of shaky cameos the last 2 games that he's come back on. But today, I mean, we talk about leadership. We talk about players just oozing utter class. And this guy has it in ounces and ounces. I mean, the way he makes that team tick, him and Casemiro together are so important, like you both said. You know, Casemiro goes under the radar a little bit, I think, with his leadership. And, you know, just because he's having an 8 or a 9, let's be honest, his 6s, his averages are better than most people's 7s or 8s. He's that good. And Eriksen was exactly. He just made the team play, and you don't even notice what he's doing, but he's bringing everyone in, and you know, like rightly so. And you know, he will get my man of the match. Anthony and Bruno will get a lot of plaudits today, but those two today really did like solidify that midfield and made us win that battle You know, we think about the League Cup game there, and they caused us trouble. Yes, we beat them 3-0, but they caused us a lot of trouble, and we nullified that today. I think the full-backs were both brilliant. Delo on that left-hand side was absolutely fantastic.
Quality, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Lindelof should get a lot of plaudits again as well today. I think he was stupendous. I think he was brilliant, and it's a shame he's been lumped with Maguire because he brings him down. Maguire's the anchor that we don't need. He's sinking the ship, and the sooner we cut that chain, the better. I'm sure we'll dissect that. But overall, I think going to a tricky place, and you know that's the type of place we are having hiccups. You know, not just this season, but in the past as well. To get out of there, three points, a clean sheet. We move on to Thursday. You have to be coming away happy with that. It was
Facts. Zayn Miassi, let's be having you.
Where's
Zayn
Zayn?
Miassi missing, man. You don't want to talk
Zayn?
today. Hey?
Where's Zayn? That's what I want to know.
Zayn's missing, man.
Where's
He
Zayn?
don't want to talk today. You don't want to talk
Where's
today.
Zayn?
You know what I mean?
Mm.
Saka won't talk about Starboy Saka. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? Let's see what happens at the end of the season. You get me?
okay.
So Zayn Miassi's gone missing. Big up to HK Music, says forgets Sabitzer. He is better at 10 and seems injury prone. We need an 8. Get McAllister. You know what? That was, again, like I said, another injury for United, man. I don't know what's going on with these injuries, but hopefully that is not a serious injury. Hopefully it's just a kind of precaution. Hopefully he's back for the game on Thursday because we're going to need him. No Bruno Fernandes for that game on Thursday, man. Yeah. Eriksen's just coming back. You know what I mean? So we don't want to rush him.
Speed. Yeah. But they're going to have to play anyway because them two are, like I said, double A backed it up as well. Like they're key to what we did. Like I don't think we control that game as well if Eriksen doesn't start and Sabitzer starts. Not that we lose the game, but I'm saying like Eriksen, and I like Sabitzer. Eriksen's a different level to Sabitzer. You see how important he is just keeping the ball ticking over. I've actually recalled about him many a time. That's when people tried to criticize him and talked about him in big games and go, well, defensively he's not good. And then we got clapped 7 at Anfield without him.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's again, like I said to you, man. It's one of them. With Eriksen, it just makes everyone calm, innit? Like I think he helps Bruno Fernandes' game. I think Bruno Fernandes, then when he sees Eriksen, keeping the ball, I think he kind of plays better. Quality in it. Like there's a drop off in Man United's team when certain players are not in that team. You've seen it with Sevilla. We take out a few players out of the team, it's a drop off in it. Like Weghorst came off for 20 minutes. It wasn't great. You know what I mean? He was a bit frustrated. It didn't stick to him, but I think overall, Bruno Fernandes, man, that's what we want. Like, I've got a love-hate relationship with Bruno Fernandes. I think for me, sometimes I'm like, this guy, man. But then obviously I know his qualities. It's just, again, simplifying his game, doing what he knows is best. Obviously, in the big games, I still want to see more. Top 6 games, I do think he goes a bit missing. But in these kind of games, he bullies people, man. He bullies the opposition. That's what he did today. Just bullied. This is what we know his qualities in the final third. He's unbelievable. So, for me, Bruno Fernandes, he deserves his praise today. Absolutely different level, man. Double A, and that's what we want from Bruno Fernandes. More consistency, more of that, and everyone's happy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I thought it was a very, very good performance from Bruno Fernandes.
Mate, this position shift, rightly so, in some instances, flawless, it has been, not I won't say critical, but, he's offered his advice and constructive criticism, should we say, we'll call it, on Bruno Fernandes and what he needs to do to improve, to be, as we all want him to be, the linchpin for this team, as he is the captain. I think that position shift in the last 3 or 4 games, he's been outstanding. I think he's proven that he has the technical ability to play football in a system that Ten Hag wants to play. You think of the Brentford game when he was dropping deep. Everton, he did the exact same, and I think he was outstanding in that first half of Sevilla. And today again, he doesn't wear the armband today, but he's the captain of that team. And I think Bruno with space and time can be very, very dangerous. And he's very well respected. I love him, and I think I say it all the time because they play for Manchester United, so you want them to be the best when they play for your club. But he's shown he can do it. It's about the consistency to keep doing it and to do it in the big games when it matters. You think no more important than Sunday. Obviously he's not playing Thursday, so Sunday we need the Bruno we've seen for the last 4 games, because we're going to need him desperately to show that he rightfully is the captain of Manchester United. But today, again, our captain's performance, led from the front, was really inventive, really clever in the way he was playing all around the pitch. And, you know, just big up, man. I love him, and I'm glad he's found this form at the right time of the season as well.
Facts, 100%. Someone said to me about top 6 goals missing. Away from home is my grudge with Bruno Fernandes, away from home. But listen, flawless, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, in the final third, Bruno Fernandes is that guy, man. You know, we know what he's capable of. Like I said, it's the other side of his game where, you know, people kind of look to him when he's giving the ball away, petulance. We know his quality, isn't it? And the consistency is that what we're looking for.
That's the key word there, consistency. Like someone said at the top of the show, someone said, oh, when's Flawless going to finally give Bruno his credit and say he's a good player? Good players perform consistently well on a week in, week out basis. Bruno Fernandes does not do that. If Bruno Fernandes did that, I would shut up. If he performed today, like he performed today in every other single game, or 9 out of 10, which is where Manchester United want to be. Because us three here, all the Manchester United fans in the comments want Manchester United to go and compete and win for the major trophies, Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. When you look at teams that win those trophies and challenge for those trophies, they're better players. Their starting 11 players perform week in, week out, 9 out of 10 times, and then they'll have the one-off game. Bruno today, if he performs like that week in, week out, I shut up. But let's not act like we just didn't watch the game against Sevilla. He wasn't good against Sevilla. Let's not sugarcoat it. We started off well. We scored 2 goals. He got the assist, and it's not just on him because the whole team was awful. He was awful. Let's not dispute that. We're only Sunday people. Are we forgetting about the game on Thursday that just happened? And again, let me repeat this. It wasn't just him. Everybody was bad. We started off exceptionally well, I believe. And we were 2-0 up, cruising. And then we gave them the game. Literally. In particular, the second half, which he's a part of. If you are going to tell me that Bruno played well in that second half and was good in that game, you're lying to yourself and you're just a fan of him, which is cool. Like I said, if he performs like he does today, 0 complaints. But I'm not forgetting the Sevilla game. And I've had this same conversation and said the same thing on this show many a time is after 2-3 good performances, people will pop up in the comments and go, yeah, Flawless, Bruno was good. Yeah, he was good. Let's start putting it together back to back to back. We've seen this happen before. You know what I'm saying? I remember vividly the Barcelona and Leicester games. The Barcelona first leg, he was very good. The second, the game after with the Premier League game against Leicester, you could argue he was man of the match. He was very good. And then you see his performance against Barcelona in the second leg. Despite giving away the penalty, he was awful. You know what I'm saying? And he was awful. Let's not forget games like Fulham. Let's not forget games like Newcastle that were recent. Again, it's not just on him. You know what I'm saying? I'm asking for more from everybody. But the reason why I'm critical of him is because he's playing down the spine of the team. That's legit all it is. But today, 0 complaints. He was very, very, very good today. Very good.
Back in for the Sevilla game, I think that's, you know, he was absolutely brilliant, and I think he was taken off after 15 minutes of the second half. So I think the drop off was after that, and I think, you know, we didn't start the second half. Like you say, it's not just on him to start the second half.
No, it's not just on him.
Yeah, I mean, the whole team didn't come out of that second half.
Yeah, absolutely.
All out the races. But I think, you know, I would say he was brilliant at Sevilla because the first half he was the linchpin again. I think he was him and Martial were the two. Obviously, Sabitzer got the goals and he was in the right place. But I think, you know, the driving force was 100% Bruno. And I say, you know,
first half I think so.
The reason why I disagree with that, because other team, after we scored the second goal, we didn't offer anything. We offered nothing going forward. He's supposed to be an offensive player. Again, not just on him. And I put that on the whole, even on the watch along when I was doing it, I was like, we were 2-0 up. And I'm saying, this is a bad performance. Second half, yes, he did get taken off. But everyone was just as bad. But the reason why I'm pinpointing him, because people will say, oh, he's one of our best players. He's one of our most important players. So if that's the case, let's hold him to one of our most important player standards. Not you, man, but people want to, because you, man, have both been critical of him. But certain people in the comments don't want him to be criticized. So he plays well, praise him. When he plays poorly. So even forget the Sevilla game. What happened against Fulham when he was awful? What happened against Newcastle when he was awful?
I think he's in form now. The last 4 games, he's definitely found some form.
I think this comment here kind of like, obviously, a lot of people, you know what I mean? It's either exceptionally good or exceptionally... I think what Ten Hag is going to do with Bruno Fernandes is make sure his game is leveled out now. And I think in the last couple of games, I've seen where his game has leveled out a little bit, and he's been more. Even if he's not doing a lot, he's a bit more, at least taking care of the ball. He's a bit better at tidy possession. That's what I've kind of liked from him, from him playing deeper in that role. Now today, he was giving the last goal forward, and he was amazing.
Give me 10 sevens rather than 3 2s, 4 8s.
Yes.
Give me 10
Yeah.
sevens, and I'm happy with that.
And that right there is my issue. Is we'd never get 10 sevens from him. That's the problem. We can't go from today and then go to Fulham, go to Newcastle. How are we going from 8-9 today to 2-3s against Fulham and Newcastle? Again, people, it's not just on him, but if he's one of the better players and we are holding him to that standard, then therefore let's hold him to that standard when he plays well today. Because like I said, against Sevilla, personally, I don't think he played well. He wasn't the only one. The team wasn't good. But I don't even expect more. I don't even criticize him. You lot are the ones that bring him up. I don't even mention him because I understand his level. And you know why I understand is he's just not that good. That comment you just put up, Saeed, and someone said he's exceptionally good or he's exceptionally shit. You know what that means? He's inconsistent. A man's 28 years old. He's not 19. He's not 21. Man is 28, and we still are unsure about this man's level. What are we doing? But again, because it's Bruno and because he gets goals and assists, for some reason our fan base just back him to high heavens, and I have no idea why when I see certain performances. But that's just me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's open on this discussion. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. OC here, it says here, another poor performance from Sancho. He's not better than Rashford. I think Sancho, I don't know. I think for me, he's overthinking it a lot with Sancho right now at the minute. There's a lot of situations where I think he knows what he's doing. The instincts is telling, but I think his brain is kind of telling him, I don't know, man. It looks a bit off the pace for me. Like everything, even the Sevilla game, I thought he was overthinking things. I was like, it's simple pass there, man. Like simple control. I don't know. He looks way off the pace for me. I don't know what you think of Double A. What are you saying?
Can I just say to all Manchester United fans, you realise that both these players play for your team. Why are you saying one is better than the other? It doesn't matter. They both play for Manchester United.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's not Saka and Rashford. It's not Saka and Sancho. They both play for Manchester United.
Yeah.
Yes, one is better than the other, but that doesn't matter. They both play for your team. Just back them all.
Yes, I agree with that.
With that being said, with Sancho, he needs to. For me, I think he had a decent game today. I think he had a very average game. It was a lot better than what I've seen of him recently. There is levels to go, but we all know that, and he'll know that himself. He's nowhere near the finished article, and I think he's still protecting himself a little bit too much. He's not fully going into games and believing in himself and in his own talent and in what he can do in certain situations. He's still lacking defensively. There was one where he got caught with Johnson, I think it was, or the right back, and he was just absolutely I think it was when Williams had that shot that got deflected wide, and he let his man go again. He's seen us. It's cost us this season in the Europa League with a goal. He did it to Malacia. What he needs to do for me is look on the other side of the pitch at the man that gets absolutely slated about anything that he does in Anthony and see what he is doing, because above all of that, what he gets slated for, tricks, having a bit of flair, not going against the grain in certain aspects and not being English, he's still performing, he's assisting, he's being a match winner, and he gets back and he helps. And I think he's just an amazing player, Anthony. And Sancho needs to be looking at him and thinking, I need to be doing what you're doing. I need to be playing to your level, because the problem that Sancho's going to have, if he doesn't step it up very, very soon, there's going to be players coming back, Garnacho and Rashford, that he'll be on the bench. He'll be sat on the bench because he's players that'll do what he can't do. So he needs to start really stamping his authority in that position if he wants to stay there. Because I think two of the positions now, Martial and Anthony, are locked down. It's that third one that he'll have a fight with Rashford for, and I think he needs to buck up his ideas pretty quickly.
I think with Sancho, my own opinion is that you're right. He's not with Anthony. Anthony's got the expression that no matter what's going on, he's not gonna like basically like be afraid. He's gonna always take a man on. He's always gonna get stuck in. You've seen it with the players, like he's gonna have them on. Look what he did with Acuna. He's got that personality about him, I think, for me, to kind of thrive at Man United. Not that I'm saying that Sancho hasn't, but I just see a bit more from Anthony to be like, you know what? no matter who kicks me, I'm gonna get back up. No matter what happens. Like I felt a bit like Sancho when he's a bit like when things are not going well, he starts to go in the shell a bit, man. And that's why I'm just like, bro, like just have a bit of personality. I think sometimes personality helps you become a better player. Similar to where Anthony is right now. His personality, his drive, his kind of almost like demeanor is like, yo, man, I'm good. Like fearless. You feel me? I don't know if anyone thinks like that. That he needs to give a bit more.
I get what you're saying. What I'm saying, he needs a bit more. You sound a bit like Roy Keane, a bit more character. You know what I'm saying? Is that what you're saying? A little bit more character, a little bit more of like what he's about. Sancho's super talented, no doubt about it. Like I don't nobody doubts that for a second. But I've been saying this now. Remember, I said it again on this show, and I was like, I didn't want to have the come to Jesus talk about Sancho. It just screams Pogba. And when I say it screams Pogba, people, talented player, right player, wrong team, wrong league. And that's what it is with Sancho. I've spoken on it many times before, again, in regards to it. The Premier League is a pace and power league. And if you play out wide, you know what I'm saying, or you're playing in particular out wide, but if you're playing in an attacking position, especially out wide, and you do not have pace and power, you are more than likely going to struggle. There's very few exceptions at the top level in this league. You look at Harry Kane, you look at Mahrez. They're two of the best players in their positions overall in the Premier League. They probably both crack top 10 lists in terms of Kane as striker and Mahrez as a right winger. So that's what it is with Sancho. So then you look, does he play in the 10? But then does he give you enough of the ball? And the thing is, I think if we sell him, he thrives in any other league. I think if you send him back, if he goes back to Germany, he's fine. If he played in Italy, if he played in Spain, he would do absolutely fine and get goals and assists and be an effective player. I think it's just wrong player, wrong league. Of course, would he improve in a possession-based system? Of course, with more of the ball and better players around you. But Double A mentioned it. Where are you going to play? Anthony's going to play wide right. Rashford's going to come back and play wide left. We are going to sign a number 9. That's 3 of the 4. We could sign a number 10. Bruno's currently the captain. Where do you fit in? And again, that's not inside. Does he need to do more? It's not all on possession-based system. And yes, he needs to do more. But the more I watch him, it's kind of like, what more can we expect from him? Because I don't think he was bad today, but he wasn't good today. Same against Sevilla. I don't think he was necessarily bad.
I think Sevilla was bad. I think Sevilla was bad.
And Double A, so you think he was bad? How many average to bad? Okay, so fair enough.
Today he was okay. He was almost
okay.
fine. Yeah,
okay. So how many average to bad performances do we need to see from man before we say you're just average or bad? Like we're still waiting for more.
Yeah,
maybe there is, and I hate to say it because I like Sancho again. I think he's super talented, but how long are we gonna wait now? And I think Double A mentioned it last week when he said everybody's improved under Ten Hag, apart from him. We've seen players without his title, Wan-Bissaka, and come on leaps and bounds. So,
have any of you seen him higher than a 7? I've never seen him pull a man of the match. He scored goals and won games. The Leicester game he scored. Obviously, we won the game through that. Yeah. I've never seen him look like he's on fire, like he's absolutely smashing a game. I've never seen it, and that's worrying. And people are saying he's on 350. Sorry, bro.
No, that's cool. Keep going.
Just before I forget to say it.
No, that's cool.
And people keep saying he's on 350 grand a week. Earn it then. It's not our fault he's on that wage. We've not put him on it, but he needs to earn that wage. If that's how you judge a player being good, is how much they earn, which it should be, but it's not, then he needs to earn that wage. But for me at the moment, he's not earning it enough. Like I said, he had an average game today. He did a lot better than what he's been pumping out recently. But he wasn't a 7. He was probably a 6, 6.5 at best. Cool. We need more from him. And it's like little things like Anthony wins these little dirty fouls. He'll get bumped. Sancho don't do it. He just lets the ball get taken away from him and they go off. It's like you're scared to get yourself bumped or hurt or really scrap and fight for stuff. Just fight, mate, because we want you to fight. This looks like criticism, and we're saying he's not good enough and all this, and we don't want him at the club. It's nothing like that because we all wanted Sancho. He's shown that he's got absolute world-class ability. We're not seeing it in a Manchester United shirt, and I think that's what we need now because it's important. And at this stage of the season, and with these injuries that are occurring, it's massively important. But I want him to succeed 100%. Yeah.
And I get what you're saying when you talk about we haven't seen, and I've seen good performances from the season, not enough, but we haven't seen how Anthony performed today. where you could argue Anthony was man of the match today, outside of getting a goal and the assist. You mentioned there his overall gameplay. And Sancho is talented, people. But guess what? Talent is not enough. How long are we going to wait for talent till we're like, all right, you are going to produce now? And is it all Sancho's fault? No, but I no longer defend him. So when people criticize him, I understand it because his performances haven't matched. They haven't matched. Again, there's varying reasons, but it's the lack of pace and power. There's a time during the game today where we was on the break, and like I'm thinking if it's a quick play, he's gonna run away from him, but he's just not direct like that. And again, that's not his fault because that's not his game. He's a give and go player. But that's why you need to be playing. You need to be playing centrally, type of thing. And I've mentioned it again. I bang on about it, and it's not right, but it's an athlete's game, people, especially in forward areas. This is why you see João Felix, who's again super talented. More talented than Sancho, go to Chelsea and struggle. Someone said it on the show last week. Well, João Felix would be United's best attacker. Well, he's Chelsea's best attacker. How's that helping Chelsea? That man are in 11th. That man can't buy a win. Man's got 2 goals in 14 games. Is he a 2 goals in 14 games player? Absolutely not. Sancho should have more goals and assists than he's got at Manchester United. But eventually, you just have to look at it. And I'm not saying sell him. I'm not saying, oh, he's a terrible player. I've said he'll be successful elsewhere. But it's just, I don't think it's going to work out. Because where's he going to play?
There was a couple of opportunities today where I think, you know, he hesitated a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? There was a cross that came in. People said it was overhit, but I think there was an element of if he had actually got in there and actually committed to it, he would have done a little bit more better. So I don't know. Listen, that's what I'm saying to you. There's a contrast between him and Anthony, man. And let's talk about Anthony. And by the way, there's over 500 of you in the chat. Please do hit the like button, bottom right hand corner. It's free to do so. Helps the channel. So make sure you do that. But yeah, Anthony, man, listen, man. I think for me, you know, we can criticize him and whatnot. But one thing, what I like about him, he never gives up, man. And he's always just keeps on doing his thing. Like, he is Anthony. I think he's trying to, you know, portray that every single time he's on the pitch. You know, no matter how many times the crowd gets on top of him, he still keeps his personality. He still keeps him. And I think sometimes you got to applaud that because, you know, we're looking at Sancho and we're kind of looking at him and thinking, where's you know, let me see something. And Anthony, for me, is progressing better and better for me each game that it comes. And his end product's getting better. And today was probably the best performance we've seen from Anthony as a whole. You know what I mean? As a 90-minute game, that was the best Anthony I've seen for me. But yeah, man, growing and growing. Flawless start with you, man. Anthony, man, chat to me.
Oh, yeah. He was, like I said, I think his performances have been good just before this, but this one's the standout. And this now should be the floor. Like, you at your worst should be today, and we can get more from you. The reason why I'm not being so critical of Sancho this season is because it's his first season. Whereas next season round, I'm like, all right, I'm expecting more. I'm not going to talk about Anthony like I'm about Sancho, but today, yeah, A1. I have no faults. You know what I'm saying? His one thing that's extremely, I think, underrated that doesn't get the praise is his ability to carry the ball up the pitch. That's number one. Number two, the fact that he'll take the ball and it's in tight spaces. He's not fussed. He'll have 1 man on him. He'll have 2 man on him. It could be 3 man, and they'll still say, give me the ball. Like, he has full faith in his ability. Double A mentioned it. His ability to draw fouls. He'll take on a man. What I've seen in recent games as well, the past 4 or 5 games, using the right foot. Because that was one big criticism we had of him. And I've seen him a few times, whether it's a shot, whether it's a cross. Now he'll go on the outside and hit the ball with his right foot as well. He's quick, he's direct, and he's been a little bit more direct, shooting a lot as well. I don't mind him missing, but shoot. You mentioned it about Sancho, like, not being involved. I'd rather have someone who's getting 4 or 5 shots on off target than 1 or 2. I don't want to see players not shooting. And there's a few times, he's put the ball wide, especially as a winger, you are going to miss. But either shoot me in the game or shoot me out of the game. But give us an opportunity. What have we spoken about? Like, our lack of goals, especially outside of Rashford. Anthony needs to add that to his game. He's never been a goal-scoring winger anyway. Look at his record at Ajax. I'm sure I think he's pretty much on for his personal best in terms of goals. He managed to get an assist today. Great pass and 0 complaints. And again, Double A mentioned it. His defensive work. I like what he does as well. Defensive work. He'll drift in, and also he'll drift inside, and now he'll go around the outside as well. So he's adding to his game, and I like what I see, and I look forward to the back end of this season, and in particular next season, as we get more of Ten Hag's players in, and I expect an improvement on him from him as well. But today, arguably man of the match.
100%. I think it's key, man. Double A to the system that Ten Hag has, man. It's his key, man. I know we got Lisandro Martinez and whatnot, but in terms of our attacking player, in terms of holding possession out wide, isolating wing players, defenders, the pressing, just everything about our attack and the way it flows. Anthony's always a part of it. He drops in the middle, he drops in the 10, he goes out wide, he's always in behind, chasing. Like he doesn't stop running as well. His energy, his tenacity, bro, it's amazing, man. He doesn't stop working as well. And obviously now, if he could just add that, refine his game to just giving the ball quicker, faster, decision making. I said it, man. It's a scary player, man. The manager called him Robin today. Yeah, he reminded him of Robin. You know what I mean? So
High
listen,
praise.
man.
Bro.
I mean, that's a good price to have, man.
Oh, absolutely. But as I call him, the fella from the favela, I absolutely love the kid, man. I've loved him before he come. Followed him closely at Ajax, and it's a player I wanted anyway. And the fact we got Ten Hag and then he came, I was made up. Listen, he's our most important wide player, and he's proven that because he does it all. He creates. He tracks back, like you said, helps the defender. He's always wanting the ball. He's always wanting to progress the team up the pitch, whether he's going on the outside and then cutting in or driving in for it more in field, which I think he needs to do more of. We saw that with the assist today, and that ball was absolutely perfect. He played it at the right time. It was the right pace. He's got everything. He's got everything. And, you talk about how important he is to the system. I don't think it's any surprise if we go back to the Newcastle game that we conceded not long after he went off because Wan-Bissaka had no cover on that right-hand side. And I think he was in. We probably don't concede that first goal. I think he's improving more and more. And, you look at, if you're going to compare him to players, aside from United players, which I'm not going to do, you look at, Jack Grealish came from the Premier League for 100 million. In his first season at City, he stanked the place out. Anthony come from the Eredivisie, which apparently is a farmers' league, and he's adapting, he's adjusting, and he's showing that he's a very important player. He's probably I would say he's had a better season, other than winning. City won the league, but Grealish didn't do too much in that. I think Anthony's had a better season than Grealish did last season, and he knew the league. So
I'd say that.
Apparently, Grealish doesn't get the same criticism as Anthony, and he's been in the league like he's
because he's English, and
English. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if Grealish did a 360 and give the ball away, that's just Jack. That's what Jack does, isn't it? It's just good old Jackie boy because it's a Brazilian who does it. Fidget spinner and all this nonsense, and I don't buy into it because. Listen, he's a great footballer, and we know from this manager he doesn't suffer fools lightly. There's no way he would not force the club, but be on the club to make sure to go in for him not once but twice and get the man he wanted. He clearly believes in everything that Anthony can offer this team. So, listen, I can't speak highly enough of him. I think he's going to be an absolute baller for this team, and long may it continue. And I want him to score. And I was going to bring up the point on the right foot because I was saying I need to see more now from him. That development, we need to see if he's being coached to do it. The fact we're seeing it, it can get better. I think that cross with his right foot was a bit shaky today, but it's there. And he's proving that he's listening and learning and developing in what is becoming, an important and a great team for Manchester United. So, yeah, it was my man of the match today. Goal, assist, and his overall play. He should definitely be man of the match. But yeah, big up Anthony every single time.
Absolutely, man. Another player that stood out today was Lindelof, man. Listen, man, Lindelof was excellent today, man. I think he's had a decent season. I don't think he's got the opportunities because I think of the physicality that maybe Maguire gives you in a game and the height and whatnot. But Lindelof, for me, I thought he was outstanding today, man. He was commanding. Listen, Nottingham Forest and Nottingham Forest, innit? But we criticise Lindelof when he plays badly against, I don't know,
anybody.
Anybody.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So why can't we give him the praise? I thought he was excellent today. And, maybe a club will look at him in the summer and say, you know what, I like that, man. And he'll play for a move. I think he deserves a movement. He's a good guy. Like I said to you, he's a decent defender. You know what I mean? For what we need, probably not. But listen, he might well do in the Spanish league, the Italian league. You know what I mean? He's still 27, 28, I believe. He's still a young defender. So yeah, man, flawless. What are you saying, Lindelof today, man?
I love Saeed, how you know what I'm saying, and that you tried to spin that he's not good enough. But like, nice guy, you know what I'm saying, and that
Nice
yeah,
guy,
love that. Nice guy, I love that, man. You know what I'm
nice
saying?
guy,
Because
man,
you're a
nice
nice
guy.
guy, man. Nice guy tax. But yeah, today, no complaints. No complaints. You mentioned it was Forest. They didn't offer very much going forward. However, if he plays poorly, we criticize him. I've never been critical of Lindelof on the ball. I'm saying on the ball's never been the problem. It's always been from a defensive standpoint. And everything he had to do today, even though it wasn't much, he did well. Competed for tackles. I've seen him sliding in on a couple of occasions, being strong in tackles, and zero complaints. And the reason why Victor Lindelof's had a good season this season is because we've used him as he should be used, like a squad player. Martinez and Varane have been the main centre backs, and they've been fit for the majority of the season. Lindelof and Maguire and Shaw have been backup to them, more so Lindelof and Maguire. This is why we haven't been criticising Lindelof. This is why he's not been a topic of conversation, because when squad players play week in, week out, you start to see their deficiencies. Lindelof playing away at Forest shouldn't be an issue. I have no issue with him playing away against Sevilla or even the Brighton game, but then it's the few games after that, if Varane is not fit. Then it's kind of like, all right, we might see his deficiencies. But yeah, Lindelof, I could see him getting a move in the summer. There was rumors, there was reports of him wanting to leave in January. And I think that's the area we need to improve on anyway. Because I think our first choice backup at centre-back should be better than Lindelof. And I think Spanish league, yeah, he'll do fine in Spain, and you'll get good money for him and reinvest. But today, no complaints. He was very, very good today.
Yeah, listen, Double A, what you saying, man? I think for me, it's a lovely, you know what I mean, performance from him. I think he carried Maguire to certain extents. I think he almost put him to shame a little bit. I know Maguire kind of grew into the game in the end. I think, a lot of people, they want to hate on Maguire. First half was terrible. Second half, he improved a little bit. But, Lindelof was showing him, I'm the leader here today. Normally, you kind of like, it's the other way around. People assume it's the other way around. He was the leader in the back today.
The only person that thinks the leader in the back is Maguire. I mean, that's
yeah.
let's not kid ourselves. Personally, I would love to keep Victor Lindelof. I think he's the third best centre back we've got. I think he has shown that he has quality when playing with a competent defender next to him, i.e. Martinez and Varane. I think, yes, he has deficiencies and weaknesses, but I think they're not as exposed when he's not playing with the number 5, unfortunately. I think he was fantastic today. And I think out of those two that played today, it's going to... What it'll say to me is who has the most ambition to play in their career. So if Lindelof goes, I think it's because he believes he wants to play first-team football, although I would like him to stay. If Maguire stays, it kind of proves what we all think, and he's kind of make a wish in it. He's living the dream. He's living the dream, and he's never going to get any better than that. He even captain Leicester, and he comes to Manchester United, and he's captaining this team. It's a joke at this point, and if he doesn't want to move at 29, 30 to play first team football, it kind of shows you that he's happy just to get minutes here and there, and hoping on an injury. But if we go out and get a Timber or a Kim Min-jae, I would like one of them to push Varane, who is getting closer to the, not the end of his career, but pushing over 30 and stuff like that. But I would love Lindelof to be the 4th centre back. But yeah, I think he was fantastic today. Marshalled really well, played out from the back really well. Can't fault him for it, and one of many great performances in the team today. But yeah, I like him. I like Lindelof. I think he's always taught well. He's always he's always shown great love for the club and the team, and respectful. But yeah, it looks like he may want to go and get first team football, and you can't hate a player for wanting to do that.
I think it comes down to, for me though, like, the next step for Man United, I just don't see still. Listen, Man City have got Akanji, Diaz, Laporte, Aki. Like, even for me, like, I don't know, Lindelof is good, but I just overall, I think there's going to be a situation where we need to get to the next step, and it's like, can you rely on him? That's the question for me, Flawless. I don't know. Are you? Do you think
Yeah.
he could be good a squad player?
I'm in agreement with you, like in terms of the levels we are trying to push. Lindelof's not it. Like I said, it's time. If he stays and he's a squad player, if he's number 5, cool. If we go inside, say we move on Maguire, we sign another centre back. I like Luke Shaw as a left-sided centre back, and then Lindelof's backing them. So you got Martinez, you got Varane, you got Shaw, you got the new centre back, and then you have Lindelof and he's number 5. Cool, but I don't want Lindelof being the one to come off the bench, or if Varane gets injured, thrown into the first team when we're potentially away in the Bernabeu, or we're playing away at PSG, or we're away in Napoli. Like away at Forest, cool. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, if he's number 5, I just don't think he's it for where we're trying to go to. He's squad player at best. Yes, I might have mentioned Kim Min-jae. I like his profile. I've not watched a lot of him, but let's say it was Kim Min-jae. So you have Martinez, you have Varane, you have Shaw, you have Kim Min-jae, then Lindelof. That's a cool 5. That's the level we should be at. He's a squad player and nothing more, to me anyway.
But if you look at Ake, if you talk about City, Ake, City fans couldn't wait to get rid of him in the squad.
That's true.
And look at that redemption arc. He's been absolutely outstanding. I'm not saying that's going to happen for Lindelof, but you know, you never know. And once we get rid of that number 5 and his better centre backs in there, all of a sudden, you know, you start to reach hopefully reach the levels that's around you. I hear what you're saying. He's never going to be a starting centre back, not over fit Varane, fit Martinez. I just think he offers a lot more than what the supposed captain does. And
he's better than. Don't get me wrong, better than Maguire. Yeah, like I'm not even saying keep Maguire as a squad player. I'm saying he needs to be gone. I'm saying if we did lose Lindelof, I'm like, all right, cool.
And it's probably the more, if terms of selling and getting some money, he's probably the more, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know Maguire how much he would cost, but Lindelof, for me, you could get about 15, 20 million out of him. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because he does well on, like I said, you could imagine him playing in La Liga. You could imagine him going to the Dutch league. You could imagine him playing in Italy, whether it's in a back 4 or a back 3. I think he'll do fine, but I'm not going to cry over us selling squad players. That's what he is at best. So unless it's a backup goalkeeper, which is like they can be tough to find in terms of quality, it's a backup centre back. You go and locate a better one. I'm never going to start me sat here and being like, all right, we going to get rid of Fred. I really don't want him to go. I think Fred at best is a squad player. Player I like, but at very best is a squad player. Number 5, ironically, like I just said about Lindelof in terms of choice. If we really want to go to the levels we want to go to, that's where that caliber of players should be. We should have better players in it. Like you can tell people, I'm just tired of like these players who are not good enough.
It's how many years? How long ago?
Yo, it's
2017, is it?
Something, you know what I'm saying? And not just him, people. When I say that, I'm just talking about like the team overall and just these players who have been underperforming for so long. And now we actually have a manager of quality and we've got some quality players in there. You see the difference. Look at the difference between Varane and Lindelof. That's no shot at Lindelof, but you see it. It's worlds apart. I'm saying same way with the Casemiro and any of our midfielders not named Eriksen. And I want to upgrade on Eriksen. Like if we really want to challenge and we really want to go to these levels, these are the things we need to improve upon. There has to be a ruthless streak because most of the squad is not good enough. I know it's harsh. People might disagree with me. I've said it. I would push the majority of this team off a cliff, metaphorically speaking, people. I don't think they're good enough. Legit. I don't. I think the majority of them are squad players.
I think Ten Hag's squeezing them out.
Yo, he's doing I've been saying it for this is why when I said he's working miracles, because look at the team. Look at who we brought off the bench against. Take Eriksen out of it. Look at who we brought off the bench against Sevilla. Weghorst, Alango, Palestri, Maguire. That sounds like no disrespect to them players. That sounds like a relegation team bringing players off the bench. There's probably a relegation side this weekend or last weekend that made subs and it was of better quality. Yeah, Ragnick wasn't lying when he said we needed like multiple new players. I think overall it's a squad overhaul, but that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, and also when you look at it today, Ten Hag players, there was only Anthony and
Casemiro and Eriksen.
Casemiro and Eriksen, yeah. So and Eriksen wasn't even going to start. You know what I mean? So
Eriksen wasn't even going to. That's ironically 3 of our best starters. Yeah, and we'll throw Weghorst in the mix, but ironically 3 of our best players.
So it's a long way to go. There's a long way to go, man. It's a long way to go.
It's early days, isn't it? So to see what he's doing already, with only 5 signings, 5, 6 signings.
I can't lie. Yeah, facts. Yeah, with 5 signings, and that's why he needs to be backed. As you can still tell, I'm still pissed about the Sevilla game. As good as today was, like I've still not forgotten about what happened and the way we gave up that game to them, and we should have been out of sight. Like that tie should be over. and I still think we'll beat them because Sevilla are awful. Let's not get it mistaken. I'm not going to let 2 deflected goals, but it's the manner in which that game went. Yeah, we was unlucky with the deflected goals, but we allowed them to have possession, which allowed that to happen. Players does not deliver because they're just not good.
Facts. It's true.
This is what it is, man. I'm tired.
Big up to Dalot today. Listen, Dalot left-hand side. I thought for me, I'm not gonna lie to Brennan Johnson. I was like, man, this could be a tricky one. But he dealt with him, got his goal. Is that first Man United goal? That's crazy, you know?
Yeah, first goal, yeah. First Premier League goal,
Premier League for Man United. That's mad. But I thought he was excellent today. I thought he did that role better. I think what it is with Malacia. I like him, yeah, but I don't think he drives with the ball when he's in that inverted forward role. I think he's tidy possession. I think he's decent at what he does. I think he's a competent left back. But Dalot got that ball in possession and drove with it when we needed to. He's a good ball carrier. That's one thing I always say with Dalot. He's a very, very good ball carrier. Technically, he's very, very sound. Defensively, I still have my issues. Overall, as a right back, I still have my issues long term. But today, it was in his 100th Premier League game. Yeah, fair play. But Double A, I thought he was excellent today in that left back role. Like I said, we need options, man. He might play for me. I know Malacia was in there, but I reckon he's probably got his spot now. Luke Shaw will go back into centre back, and then he'll probably play left wing back. I think for me, left back.
Yeah, I think maybe that's what Ten Hag is cooking. We're in all these Frimpong rumours, and Dalot will probably sign a new contract, and we're all thinking, well, that means Wan-Bissaka's going to go, but Wan-Bissaka's been absolutely brilliant since the turn of the year. Cannot fault him at all, and everyone's like, damn, that means we're losing one of these two. I think for me it would have been Dalot. I think Dalot's really struggled after the World Cup. He was brilliant before, and I'm not saying he deserves to go because of that, but I think Wan-Bissaka's adding so much more to his team. None of our fullbacks are driving in and playing centre mid like he's doing. He's been absolutely brilliant. But back to Dalot. So maybe that's what he's going to do. He's going to get rid of one of the centre backs. Luke Shaw becomes a centre back, and Dalot plays left back. I think he was absolutely brilliant today. Like you say about Brennan Johnson, I think, like I say, even though we beat them in the League Cup semi-final there 3-0, he was dangerous. He could have should have maybe had a couple of goals or assisted. I think he was brilliant. Kept him quiet. I think one of the quietest games he's had recently, because people have been talking a lot about Brennan Johnson, and I think he was really brilliant. I think he supported Sancho really, really well. I think he was playing nice, tidy balls into the center of the midfield as well, to the midfielders, Eriksen and Bruno, quite a lot, especially in that first half. He was really good at it.
Absolutely,
he's been really good, and I'm glad he's got his goal. It's another player that we thought had no future at United at one point, and how he's improved under Erik Ten Hag is really great, and I think there's more to come from him. Again, another young player, 23 as well, I believe. So there's a lot more to come. I would start him left back in Seville. I think Malacia, as good as his season has been so far, I think he struggled in certain aspects, and he was right. I know he had a bit of a knock and stuff like that, but I think he should have been brought out the firing line after Thursday anyway. But yeah, I think he's proved he can play there, and I expect him to play there Thursday, because he was very important to how we played and how we got the win today.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Let's do some quick player ratings and get involved, people, with the player ratings. David De Gea, I'm going to go with solid 7. Clean sheet, good distribution when he needed to. Yeah, man, 7. He's the most clean sheets now in the Premier League, isn't it?
That's all right.
Yeah. He was before. Yeah. He was before this game, so I think it's 2. Is it 2 now? Or I know he's one ahead anyway. Yeah, mate. He had a great game. He didn't have to do much, but what he did was great.
Yeah.
Some of the distribution was brilliant. I think even when you saw them packing out that 6-yard box ridiculously. I don't think I've ever seen it as packed like that in professional football as they did today. They were clearly trying to target him. But they were. He did well, to be fair, and I think he deserves his props, because I love De Gea, man. I think this agenda really, it annoys me a bit. I don't think it needs to be as toxic as it is. Yeah, 7's a fair score.
Yeah, 7's fair. I think 7's fair. He did everything he needed to do, because he didn't even have a shot to save. So yeah, 7.
Yeah. 7, yeah. Listen, Mr. Reliable. I call him Mr. Reliable now. I don't know what you guys thinking, but Wan-Bissaka, listen, I don't even worry about his deficiencies anymore. I'm just thinking, you know what, solid. I know what I'm getting with Wan-Bissaka now. It's 7 for me again. You know, again, long term, it's question marks there. You know, because we want to evolve. But for this
Agreed.
season, first season of Ten Hag, I'm giving number 7. He's for me my number 1 right back. Dalot has to get in and do something amazing to get ahead of him. Wan-Bissaka
Agreed.
for me, 7. What are you saying, Flawless?
Yeah. I think a 7's fair. I only echo everything you said. We had no doubts about him from a defensive standpoint. And offensively, he's got better on the ball. I've seen him invert, and he did it today. I can't believe what I'm seeing. I'm saying
Yeah.
shifting the ball, Wan-Bissaka. You know what I'm saying? Inverted fullback is something you never thought I would see or I would be like even contemplate. But not only is it being done, it's working. So you got to give props to him and props to Ten Hag. So yeah, I think a 7 is fair.
Oh,
Yep,
he was
absolutely.
at the number 10 at one point. He had that when he had that he should have shot and he passed it. I was like,
Yeah. You should have shot. I said shoot.
yeah, but he's
Yeah.
he's doing bits for me. I'm really impressed with him. And like I say, I think since the turn of the year, he's the most improved player under Ten Hag because he was dead and buried in this team. He wasn't.
Yes.
Malacia played right back at Fulham, and was like, well, Wan-Bissaka's fit. So
Wow.
I think it's been a brilliant return to the side. And like I agree with you, Saeed, first choice right back for me every time though. 7 as well.
Absolutely. 7, yeah. Lindelof, I'm gonna give Lindelof an 8. Could be a bit more, could be a 9, but I think for me, I'm giving Lindelof an 8. Today was outstanding. For me, yeah, 8. I don't know, you guys want to go higher? Let me know.
8, you know, you on the VR hive chinging it, Saeed.
Yeah,
Man,
for me, he deserved the 8, man. He was cut
was
above the
very
rest.
good today. He was very good today. I would have said 7.5, but I'm not gonna argue you 8.
I was gonna say 7.5.
I would have said 7.5.
I think he was really good. I don't think he was a point better than Wan-Bissaka though. I think
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He was a point better than Wan-Bissaka because I thought
I think half point better for me.
Yeah,
I'll take 7.5.
Okay. Let me know.
I'm not gonna argue at 8. If you don't want to give him an 8, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Maguire, what we saying, Maguire?
I mean,
he wasn't the best in the
to get a booking after 2 minutes, I thought, here we go. You know that the GTA meme. Here we go again.
Yeah, you go again. Yeah,
that's what I was expecting. He improved. I think the handball could have been a penalty, but I think it was an average Harry Maguire performance. So in that aspect, I'd be generous and give him a 6.
Yeah, because he did start off like it was bad, and I was thinking, oh, here we go. And then there was a time he passed the ball out of play. You know what I'm saying? A 5-yard pass. I was like, here we go. But to his credit, you got it together in the first half. Second half, no faults. We dominated the ball. I think a 6 is fair. And just to that comment about the Wan-Bissaka with the right back thing, I think I just want an offensive right back to then switch. If we're going to dominate the ball, we have an attacking right back. If we play in a defensive game, you play Wan-Bissaka. I would keep him 100%. Just saying. But Maguire, I'd say a 6. 6 is fair.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair for me. Dalot, I'm gonna give him a. Let me see, 7. Yeah, I'll give him a 7. I think solid 7. You got a goal to be fair though, so 7.5, I'd say for me. That's why I give Lindelof a bit higher.
That's fair. I thought Dalot even outside of the goal was good. Driving forward, tidy on the ball, defensively did everything you would like. I think a 7.5 is about right. I let Double A decide between the two. I'm not fussed either way. Or the chat.
I would have said, like you say, he was very, very good in the game overall. So that would have been a 7 to top it off with his first goal. I give him a half point. I give him a 7.5. It was a really good performance from Dalot.
Yeah, absolutely. Casemiro, which I'm gonna lie, I don't think he's had his best game, but I think he grew into the game and the end goes on. I think he lacked a bit of match rhythm, looked a bit rusty. I'm going to give him an average 6 for me, Casemiro. I don't think he was excellent. I think he got better as the game going on. I think he just lacked a bit of match rhythm for me. 6 for me. What are you guys thinking, Casemiro today?
Go on,
I think I said earlier, his 6 is everyone else's 7. I think he was actually really good for him today. I think like I said, no, but I agree with what you're saying because we know what he can do because of how amazing he actually is, and I think he's not played for 4 games. He's still finding his rhythm back into the team. It's not easy for everyone. Everyone just can't jump into it straight away, especially in the Premier League and stuff. But you know, I think, like I say, his average is above everyone else's average, and I think for him he was an average today. I want to be a little bit more generous in the 6. I think because I love him so much. I would say touching a 6.5 just because he's Casemiro, the boss.
I'd say so. Like a 6.5 is around fair. I don't think it was his best. I believe he did lack much sharpness, kind of did like he did against Sevilla, but he didn't do anything bad. He just wasn't exceptional at anything today. But there's no points. Like he got won his duels, won tackles, interceptions, kept the ball ticking over. Did everything really you could have asked for. You know what I'm saying? If we won and won today, I would have been looking at Casemiro like, yo, this is on you. You need to do more. I'd say a 6.5 is fair. That's what I would say.
Okay, fair enough. Eriksen, I'm going to give him a 7 for Christian Eriksen. I think, listen, he played well today, made us tick. Very, very tidy performance. Christian Eriksen, not even a glamorous performance, it's just a Christian Eriksen performance. You know what I mean? Let's be real. 7 for me. You know what I mean? What do you reckon, Christian Eriksen?
Yeah. Can I just pick up George there saying Saeed giving Maguire and Casemiro the same score?
No, because you just said it though, like, you know, again, it's a standard performance from Maguire, but it's also a standard performance from Casemiro. It wasn't great. I thought it was a bit sloppy possession at times. But I hear it. I thought Eriksen was brilliant. You know, to be thrust into the game when you think you're on the bench and to come in and put in that performance just proves and shows just how classy that you actually are. I don't think he was more than an 8 today, even though he was very important in the way we set out about the game, and he was definitely a linchpin within that team. I probably, I would say in between a 7.5 for sure. I think he was that good.
Yeah, about 7.5. He should have got an assist actually. Martial, it was his cross who missed the head. Wait, I think both crosses. The Martial header missed, and I think the Bruno one. Weren't they both Eriksen crosses?
Yeah.
Eriksen.
So he should have 2. You should have 2 assists.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He gets robbed of assists.
I think he's still got the most assists. Let me know in the chat, people. I know one of the 2 was definitely him, but I'm thinking it's both because Bruno missed the sitter and Martial missed the sitter, and I'm thinking they were both Eriksen crosses. One with his left foot, one with the right foot. I'd say 7.5. I'd say 7. He set up 2 clear-cut chances.
I know, 100%. So listen, we'll give him that one. Bruno Fernandes. I'm going to give Bruno Fernandes a. He could have had a couple of goals as well today, man. Yeah, I'll give him a 7.5 as well. I think 7.5 for me. Again, Bruno Fernandes. Possibly an 8, but I think for me, 7.5 for me. Bruno Fernandes. I probably, you know what, pushing. I'm going to give him an 8. You know, I think he was brilliant today. 8 for me, Bruno Fernandes.
Go on, Dublin.
Has to be an 8. I think he was. Yeah. You know, someone mentioned it. You know, Bruno plays without a goal and assist, and you know that proves how good he was. That he didn't get a goal or an assist. That people try and hide behind these stats. That he does this, he scores this, he assists this. Had neither of them today, and I think he was the second best player for Manchester United on the pitch for sure. Again, leading from the front. You know, we didn't really see the petulance at that side of him. It's like it's in his head now. It's something's clicked, and he's performing on the pitch every single time, and I absolutely love it. 8 for me all day long. 8 for me all day long, mate. And actually, we didn't spoke about that shot. Honestly, I thought it was a goal. A save of the season, mate, because he levered it, and I thought I jumped up. I thought a goal. How's he saved that? Man.
8's fair. 100%. I would say 8's fair. He was very good today. 0 complaints today. I'm saying kept the simple things well. And was in so many scoring positions as well. Like I say, the header he missed. Yeah, 2 or 3 shots. Obviously, the one that hit the bar. I think one hit the post as well. That never saved at his near post. Constant threat. Yeah, 8's fair.
Yeah. Anthony, for me, he gets a 9. Anthony, for me, 9. Don't know about you guys. 9 for me, Anthony. He's my man of the match.
He's your man
that's why I go to the 9.
I was thinking more 8.5, but I'm not going to argue you a 9.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue you a 9. I thought he was very good today.
Yeah, 9 for me.
I thought he was the best player on the pitch. I was going to say 8.5. I think goal and assist. It was very, 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 very good, very productive, very positive, very important to the team, as we've said. I wouldn't argue with a 9 at all. I think he was the man of the match for me, for sure. And
absolutely.
I will make it continue. Best game in the United shirt as well.
Facts. Sancho, I'm going to give him a 6. Standard performance for me, Sancho. Nothing great, but nothing too harsh on him. I think it was better than Sevilla. I'm going to give him a 6 today. Standard performance. I don't know what you guys think. 5. Some people say 5. Sancho for you. Was it a 5? Was it a 6? I don't know. It could be any.
Yeah, somewhere in that region.
Yeah. 5.5.
5.5.
5.5.
No, I was going to say 6.5. I think he had an above.
Okay, cool.
I think he had above average. I think he played. I think he had some nice touches. I think he played. He played with the right intentions. He wanted to do everything right. You know, he could have scored. He probably should have scored. He had that chance in the very early part of the game. Should have scored that one way. Probably was a bit too quick for him. I think he had a good game. I don't want to be dragged down on him, but we're criticising him and thinking rubbish and stuff. You know, I think some of the chat are thinking we're doing that because we're talking about him so much. It's because we love him and we want him to be an amazing Manchester United player. I would be generous and give him a 6.5 because I think he did really well, and he stayed on the full game as well, which is great.
Yeah, I ain't gonna argue with you with a 6.5. You're gonna say 6.5. I'm not gonna argue. No,
and then
no complaints.
Yeah, and the last player, Martial. We're not gonna do the subs because the subs really didn't have any much impact. But Martial, I thought tidy. You know, just I think standard performance. I don't know. I'd say maybe 6.5 for Martial. 6.57.
I think him also. He should have scored. You know what I'm saying? He did miss the header. The header would that's key and missing. He was Martial was always tidy pretty much most of the time. There's points where he didn't hold up the ball as well, few misplaced passes, but overall I would have said a 6.
6, yeah.
I was gonna go 7. I think the different dimensions he offers to this team and how important he clearly is to Ten Hag. Like no other striker we have, the ones we've got available, can do what he does for this team. And you saw the difference against Sevilla. I think you saw the difference again today. You saw it when he went off and Workhorse came on, how different the team and dead the team looks. And I want to shout him out because we don't score that goal without him working back and winning that ball back. Yeah, I think last season he doesn't do that. He doesn't win that ball back. He jockeys the player and the player passes it off and we don't score. He was so quick after losing the ball, and you know he probably should have scored as well. I think he was brilliant, and I'm just gonna say I think he should have been a 7. I think he was that good.
Yeah, absolutely. Big up everybody who's joined in today. Big up to everybody who's locked in. Make sure you guys like the video, man. I think there's about 30, 40 likes left or 300 likes. So please.
Yo, girls, to hit the likes, man. What's going on, man? What is this Chelsea win percentage rate, man? Conversion rate. What are we doing, man? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing?
It's got more than the Chelsea.
Yeah. What are we doing, man? Get us up to 300
likes,
man.
More Liverpool now, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Both as bad, man. But yeah, big up Flawless, man. Let them know, man, what you got going on. Anything going on?
People, midnight Sarcasm City Sports Q&A. We'll be answering all your sporting questions. So yeah, man, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you follow the Twitch as well. NBA playoffs have started, so you're getting NBA watch-alongs throughout now, people. So head over to the Twitch as long as there's Champions League watch-alongs over there. But make sure you follow Sarcasm City TV YouTube, Manchester United content on there. Big up for having me as always, Saeed, and salute to Double A as well. Big up the chat.
Big up, man. Big up, man. Talking Kit. Big up to you, mate. Always tuning in as well. Big up to you, man.
Yeah. Big up to Saeed as always for giving me the chance to come on and talk about, like I say, Manchester United and everything like that. Big up Flawless. You know, absolutely two people for me to look up to, and because they're absolutely smashing it. We need to make sure that you're subscribing to both of these and liking the videos every single time, checking out the content because you know you get a lot of amazing stuff for free, guys. But myself. Yeah, Double A, Mr. Talking Kit. If you're into your football shirts, run a YouTube channel, Talking Kit, as you can see. We have live show, not live anymore. We have full kit rankers. That's with a W. That's with an R, not a W. I got it wrong. We sit and talk about shirts. I sit down with kit collectors, talk about shirts. Every shirt has a memory. Do you know what I mean? This shirt behind me here was the last time we won the Europa League. This shirt is the best Manchester United shirt of all time. Cantona, everything. So we talk about yeah, football kits. We're almost at 500. I think we're 12 away from 500 subscribers.
Come on, guys, let's get there, man.
So you can go over there and go subscribe. Get me over 500. That'll be absolutely. Yeah, we've got a show for Wednesday. So yeah, just come check us out. Come and get involved and become a kit head. But as always, big up the chat and big up these two because it's sick.
Absolutely, people. Big up to everybody who's here.
Love.
Flawless. Big up to Charlie's in the chat as well. Tomorrow I'm live midday, people. Me and Lee going through all the games on the weekend. So make sure you tune in. Obviously, Straight Jacket podcast tomorrow 5 p.m. And yeah, man, another week of Man United as we head into a big week of football where we could either be in 2 competitions, 1 final and 1 semi-final, or we could be out of 2 competitions. So hopefully not the latter.
Our season could be over.
Basically, our season could be over.
I didn't realize that.
I'm scared.
Yeah, man.
Thanks
well, listen, I don't want to leave it on a bad note.
No, that's what we're here for, man. We want to be in competitions in April, man. We could be Liverpool and out of everything by Christmas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. On that note, we're out. Peace.